Alright, what's up, scholars? Mr. Smith here. For this video, we're going to be doing our introduction to our metronome practice and warm-up that we're going to be incorporating. For this one, by the end of the video, hopefully, ideally, everybody should have downloaded the app on your phone via iOS or Android device. We're going to be familiar with all of the components of the metronome and how to use it. And we're also going to talk about a few vocabulary words that's going to help us recognize a song's BPM or the speed of a song. So you'll be able to identify how to use this metronome or be able to put the metronome with any song you hear by ear or anything like that. All right, so let's dive right into it, guys. So if you have any Android or iOS device, you're going to be able to download this metronome app straight to your phone. If not, then there's a website that we're going to use that we can use an online metronome for the computer. So for everyone that's using the computer, you're going to bookmark the website. You're going to bookmark the web page, and then we're going to use the metronome from there. So if you're downloading it onto your phone, you can go to your app store, and we're going to type in, search for Pro Metronome, PROMETRONOME, Pro Metronome. And then once we get there, if you're on iPhone, I have iPhone, you should see something like this. We're going to go ahead and download this first one here, Pro Metronome. And once you have it downloaded, you can go ahead and pause the video, come back. Once you have it downloaded, go ahead and open it up. You should see something like this, Pro Metronome app. And as you'll see in the App Store, there's a whole bunch of other free ones that we can use, but this is just the one I have, so it'll be the easiest for you guys to compare and make sure you're doing things right based off this app. But most of these metronome apps are the same, and most of these metronomes have the same components and the same uses, so you'll find the same function on this metronome as you'll find with most other metronomes. So you can really download any one if you want to experiment, find one that you like, find one, kind of get a few so you can see what interface you like using best. Most of these are going to be the same, and all of the vocabulary words and terms that we're going to use are going to apply to all different metronomes. So you can go ahead and download any one. But for the Pro Metronome app that we're going to be using here, we're going to talk about the components of it. For everyone that's online using the web page, we're going to include a picture for that, screenshot for that metronome that we have online for everyone there, and that's the page that you're going to bookmark. And like I said, all of the terms here are going to apply to that online metronome as well. Everything's going to be the same. So we're going to talk about a few components of this metronome here. If you're on a Pro Metronome, the first thing you're going to see up here in your left corner is going to be a number. It should default to 76, and above it says tempo. Tempo. Now that's actually going to be one of the first vocabulary words we're talking about, tempo. If you've already been in a music class, you should be familiar with this, and this should just be a review of this vocabulary word for you. Tempo is the speed of a song, or the speed at which a song is or should be played. Tempo, again, is the speed of a song or the speed at which a song is or should be played. So as we listen to different pieces of music and different songs, some feel slow, some feel fast, some feel kind of in the middle, maybe walking pace. So whenever we're talking about that speed of a song, we refer to that as tempo. And this metronome tool is used to count tempo for us, or to clap or have a sound to a certain tempo. So if we were to press the play button here immediately, start to hear the click. So the tempo that is clicking is 76 BPM. We measure tempo in BPM, how you measure the speed of a car in miles per hour, mph. You measure the speed of a song in BPM, beats per minute. That's our next vocabulary word, beats per minute. Beats per minute. So according to our metronome, according to our number 76 here that we have under our tempo marking is 76. So that is telling us that we have 76 beats per minute. So if a minute of time passes, you would hear 76 of these clicks. If you want to test that theory out, you pull out your stopwatch, set it to a minute, and press play. At the same time, you press start on the stopwatch and see how many clicks you count, how many clicks you heard once it gets to a minute. Next, the next number you see is this 4/4. You see a fraction right there, 4/4. Now, if once you're first opening the app, it should default to that. It defaults that for a reason. This is a very common, what we call time signature. That's our next vocabulary word, time signature. 4/4 or 4/4 is what you will refer to that as, 4/4. That is a time signature, time signature. Now with the time signature, the top number, as you see, it's a fraction. And so it's side by side right now just for display purposes, but usually when we talk about fractions, it's one on top of the other. You have a numerator, a line, and then a denominator. So you would orient this 4/4 the same way, thinking about it as a fraction. So you have 4 line over 4. So what that's telling us, what the time signature is telling us, the top number tells us how many beats are in a measure. Now remember, we say beats from BPM, beats per minute. Don't confuse that with beats per measure. That's a completely different thing. We get the beats per measure from the time signature. Time signature. The top number, the number 4, is telling us that there are 4 beats in each measure. And we're going to talk about what a measure is exactly a little bit later in another video. We're going to get to that probably in about the next 2 or 3 videos. So that top number in our time signature is beats per measure. The bottom number tells us what kind of note is equal to a beat. So right now we have a bottom number of 4. So that is telling us that the quarter note is equivalent to a beat. The quarter note is equivalent to a beat. The quarter note is equivalent to a beat. That is also referred to, 4/4 is also referred to as common time. That's also referred to as common time signature. So we're going to leave that as is for now. We're not going to change that, the 4/4 time signature, to anything else for right now. We're going to start off dealing with the basic common time signature, 4/4. All right. Looking at the interface again, those are going to be the main things we're going to focus on in this top section here. This dial down here pretty much lets you increase or decrease the tempo. So if you bring it down, the lower the number, the slower it'll be. So if I bring it down to a lower number, we're at 39. And you can also use this spin dial here if you want to do it faster. You don't have to click. You can just spin the dial. It kind of rotates the tempo up and down. Bring it down. Very, very slow. Bring it up. It slowly gets faster and faster. Slowly gets faster and faster. So the higher the number of, as far as our tempo category, the higher the number in our tempo category, the faster the click. You also see down in the bottom corner something that says tap. Something that says tap. And this is going to be one of the functions we're going to focus on for today, because this is going to be a very useful tool, and a lot of musicians use this a lot, and I use this a lot on the daily. Whenever you hear a song, this is one of the cool things, the fancy things about having this Metronome app, and you can do this online as well with the online version. It says tap. So what that means is we can tap the tempo of something that we hear, and the metronome will tell us what tempo we're tapping. So let's just put that to the test now, and let's see. I'm going to try to do this in the camera. So if I start tapping, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, you see it says keep tapping. It's measuring the speed that I'm tapping. I might be missing measuring the speed that I'm tapping, and then the tempo would adjust. And so once I hit play, oh, it didn't do that. 4, 1, 2. There we go. It's adjusted now. So now it should be the speed that I was tapping. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we use that. Say we hear a song on the radio, we hear a song that we want to play, or we get an idea of something, we might want to play around with it. We can use that to figure out the speed of the song, and that's the starting point for it. We have to figure out the speed that the song is in order to practice it, in order to play along with it. So that's why we're going to have to start off with this metronome app, because moving forward, everything we do is going to be to a certain speed. It's going to be to a certain tempo. If it's not correct as tempo wise, then it's wrong. It can sound like anything. A song at a fast pace can sound like a completely different song at a slow pace. So we have to make sure we have the right tempo in order to make sure we're doing it correctly. So let's put that to the test. I'm gonna play a song. So if you're on your phone, it's or and the computer, you can play a piece of music, go on YouTube, play some music, or play your favorite song, or that's on your computer, and then go to your Metronome app, go to the Metronome webpage, and then you can use the tap feature and figure out the tempo of that song. So I'm just playing a random song, one we play at a rise a lot. And then with that playing, I'm gonna go to my Metronome app, and now we're gonna tap to it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, if I pause my music, I should be able to hear the tempo. Let me see, it's saying at 75. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we can test to see if it's accurate, test to see if it feels right, start singing along to it or practice along with it. All I do is win, no matter what. Sounds about the right tempo. So if I'm practicing the song, if I want to play the song, I would now write 70, 75 beats per measure, BPM, or I can put tempo equals 75 as a footnote or a way to remember that that's the exact tempo of the song. And when we start getting into music notation, we'll explore more exactly how we notate the tempo of a song and how we write that down. So that's why that's going to be useful. So for the project for now, for your first project, first use of it, just to get acclimated with it, I want you guys to explore this Metronome app a lot more. And we're going to also explore the webpage. I want you to get 3 songs, 3 of your favorite songs. I want you to think about one slow song, one fast song, and one song that's in between, sort of walking pace, sort of in the middle. Sort of how all I do is win is kind of not too slow, not too fast. It's kind of right in the middle. That was about 75. So I want you to get 3 songs like that, and I want you to use the tap feature and figure out the tempo of those songs. Figure out the tempo of those songs and write them down. Write down the tempo of each song. Remember, you have to have one slow one fast one, and one medium one. So that way you can gauge, and that'll get you an idea of whenever you hear a fast song, it should be around this tempo marking. Or when you hear a slow song, it might be around this tempo marking. Or when you hear a medium song, it's around there. So that way you can start to develop your sense of tempo. And that'll be very useful tool moving forward and something that we're going to rely on a lot moving forward. All right, guys, have at it. Let me know if you have any questions, and make sure you use 3 different songs. All right, y'all have a good one. See you in the next video.